Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Paul Udom, and today we'll be looking at ways to pass JAM. Okay, it's not really, you must not pass JAM by having 300 over 400. Passing JAM is having the cutoff mark that your school will accept you to study the preferred course of choice, right? Because normally you find people saying 300, how to score 320, how to score 400 over 400. That is not what you need, my dear. If somebody scores 180 and get admitted to your department, and somebody scores 400 over 400 and get admitted, it is one and the same thing. So I'm not going to tell you how to get 300 because I never had 300. Okay, I'm going to tell you how I scored my 200 and something that actually got me admitted into pharmacy. Yeah, I did score 300. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, these are 5 things that I did that got me admitted into University of Nigeria. We all know that University of Nigeria is one of the hardest school that you can ever get admitted into, apart from University of Ibadan, University of Lagos, University of Port Harcourt, or University of Uyo. They are quite hard to get admitted into those universities, and UNN is one of those very difficult departments to get admitted into. And not just getting admitted to be in a medical science department or medical science faculty. I'm actually in pharmacy, and it wasn't an easy road. So these are my 5 steps. These are the 5 things that I did that got me into University of Nigeria, Nsukka. It was not easy. It's going to take a lot of your time. It's going to take a lot. It's going to be very stressful. But if you pay attention to each step, then you find out that it's actually an easy step. Okay, so which means you have to listen, you have to practice, not just listen. You have to practice the steps and then do it over time. You're going to get used to it. Now, UNN is a very nice school, okay, and it is very easy to get admitted. Don't let anybody deceive you. I know that I said it's difficult, but if you follow these steps, it is very easy to get admitted. It's difficult to get admitted into UNN, but also it is easy if you follow these steps. So step number 1, your JAM syllabus, stroke your textbook. Now, you find out that people go to write JAM and they don't have the JAM syllabus, right? Like you get the dicks and you don't know what to do with it because the JAM syllabus is in the dicks that you collected, right? Okay, so you collect the dicks and you don't know what the dick says. Now, JAM is not going to ask you everything that's in your textbook. Okay? Speaking of syllables, the textbooks too, right? Now, if you don't have the syllabus and you don't have the textbook, tell me how you're going to pass JAM. Okay? So the thing is that you have to have the syllabus. If you don't have a system that you can use to read the syllabus, go to bookshops and go to business centers, ask them for UNN, ask for JAM syllabus. You can even get them online. If you have a phone, you can get the PDF form of the JAM syllabus. Okay, you get your textbook, you read the JAM syllabus, and what you must do is that you must finish the JAM syllabus. So that's why it's better to register JAM when the registration does begin, and so that you have like 3 or 4 months to prepare before the Jamb exams. And also, it's not really something. I find that people they buy JAM and they start rushing to read their books, right? You have, in as much as you have intention of writing JAM, you should always be reading, waiting for the period where the JAM form is going to be sold, waiting for the period that you're going to buy the JAM form ahead of the exams. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is get a JAM syllabus and finish the JAM syllabus, right? It's not just reading the JAM syllabus, mechanism, this and that. You just read. No, you have to read your textbook. The part of those JAM syllabus that is in your textbook, you finish it for all the 4 subjects. Now, that will take me to English, because English is not like the rest. It's not like your other 3. For me, biology, chemistry, physics. It's not like the other 3. English is a little bit technical, at least for me. I find English a little bit difficult. I don't know for other people, but English is a little bit different because you have your literature that you've been given, right? And that literature has about 5 questions. For me, Sincerely, Jam, forgive me if you say this. Please, I'm sorry. Jam, I'm referring to Jam now. Please forgive me. That English literature, I don't see the use of you reading, spending a whole lot of your energy and a lot of your time reading that literature. Jam, forgive me, okay? I know there's a reason for that. I know there's a reason for that. But for me, I don't find the energy that you put in reading that literature and cramming every single thing, especially if you're not an art student. I don't see the use. I don't see the, not like use, there's a use for it, but I don't see the I don't see the reason why you should put so much effort in reading that literature. Okay, you have three 300 marks in your chemistry, physics, biology for the science student, and you have English language. The other, if it's 50 questions and 5 questions is from the literature, you have other 45 questions to take care of. So for me, read the other part of English language, letters and structure, comprehension, other things that you can read. Leave the literature because it's going to take a lot of your time, and at the end of the day, after reading it, you find out that you cannot even answer one single question with certainty in those literature parts. So it's good to read it. Just read it like a novel, right? But don't put too much effort in it. Read it and then go online, look at some questions that they are going to ask concerning that novel, see if you can answer them. Just read it, okay? But don't put too much effort. Put those efforts in those 3 subjects and the other part of English language, okay? Now, when do you start reading for JAMB, okay? I mentioned earlier that when you start reading, immediately you buy the JAMB form, you start reading, which gives you about 4 months before the exams, about 3 to 4 months before the exams. But before you buy the JAMB form, I think you must have started reading, or you should start reading before buying. Like if you're watching this video and you've bought the JAMB form, then fine, you should be reading, right? But if you haven't bought the form and you know that the form is coming out in a few months and you will buy the form, it's high time you start reading. So for me, the timing is in as much as you know that you will write the exams, start reading, okay? Do I have to say more? I don't think so. So we'll go to the third one, past questions. Now, JAMB has past questions, okay? There are hard past questions for JAMB, and there are apps that have past questions for JAMB. Me, I prefer the app because app you can read it on the go. I don't like holding big books. It's like you're very serious and the rest of it. You can just hold a small piece of paper for chemistry, physics, or math. If you're doing math, you just calculate something and you're good. We are with your phone, okay? So you have to get a past questions, okay? There are hard copies for people that like hard copies, past questions, beautiful. But I like using app, okay? There's this particular app. This video is not being sponsored by anybody, but there's this particular app I like using when I'm preparing for JAMB, or this particular app that I used when I was preparing for JAMB. The name of the app is Ben 10, but they have changed the name to CBT JAMB tests, whatever. That app kind of brings JAMB question to you, all right? All the JAMB question from the beginning of JAMB to the last JAMB, they update the app. So once you buy the app, you're going to update. They're going to give you a password and a login detail or something like that. It's cheap. I think it's about 1,500 naira for the key. There's something they call it, something key that you use, and you have all the whole access to the app. Okay, it's very good. You will not regret it. All the whole subject are there. Then after answering the question, the beauty of the app is that the app will mark your script, tell you how you did, and tell you the topics that you are not doing quite well at, and direct you towards that topic. So you can always go back to that particular topic that you're not doing very good at and upgrade, right? So it's very easy, it's very simple. I would recommend that app to anybody that's preparing for JAMB, okay? So that is past question. You need to have a past question. You need to read that past question all the time, not just having it. You need to practice it. The subjects or the areas that you feel that you're not doing quite well at, you can go back, open your textbooks and read them, right? That is the idea of past questions, so that you can test yourself and see the ones that you are doing good at and the ones that you're not doing very well at, okay? Anytime JAMB starts selling form, you find out that JAMB centers, lesson centers pops up from everywhere. Everywhere you go to, you see JAMB center, lesson center, and the rest of it. Now, it depends on how you use it. Okay, so I'm looking at Jam Center versus Personal Study Center, or like your personal room. Your room can be your study center. Now, each of them have their own benefits and dangers. Okay, now for the benefit of Jam Center is if your house is loud, right? If you have a lousy parent, forgive me, parents. If you have a lousy sibling, if you have lousy siblings, if you have lousy neighbors, if you have friends that don't encourage you in reading, then jam centers could be your easy way out, right? If you go to jam centers, though, jam centers will be as fast. They'll teach people that are willing to pick up and follow, right? They're not going to carry everybody along. You get that part? They're just going to bring the question, show you how to solve it, and they'll move along. They're not going to, if you're not doing very well, if you're not following with the trend, with the speed of learning. Now, in jam centers, they'll assume that you know the basics. So they're just going to like give you the jam complexity or jam questions or stuff like that. So if you're going to jam centers and you don't have a base, you don't have a structure already made from the ground, then that jam center is a zero for you. So, but my how I did mine, like I used to, like I always say how I did mine. I didn't go for any jam centers, right? I studied at home. Okay, I was even working when I was preparing for jam. Yes, I was working. There's nobody that had the kind of patience, the kind of consistency I had, the kind of energy I had, the kind of energy I put in, right? So I was working while I was reading for jam. But the thing is that going for jam center is not as good as a personal reading, okay? But if you feel that your house is loud, your house is lousy, then you can register for a jam center. But the dangers of jam center is that they're not going to carry everybody along. So for me, that 1 hour you use in going to the jam center and coming back, you can use that 1 hour to read. Some jam center run the program between 2 and 3 hours. Now those 2 and 3 hours, you can use it for your own self, right? You can sit down and read for 2 and 3 hours, between 2 and 3 hours. Now plus this other one, you've used 3 to 4 hours in reading. Now if you use 3 to 4 hours in reading, let's say for instance you're being carried away and you use 5 hours in reading, 6 hours, you eat, you just stand up, go to the bathroom, take a leak, come back and sit down, sit for 6-7 hours and read every day, you will get admission. So but it is that the consistency, you don't have if you spend 10 hours reading in a particular day and then for the next 1 week you don't read again, then it's a no for you. It's useless. So what you do is that you read, even if you have to read 4 hours every single day, read 4 hours every single day. Now if you spend 2 weeks reading every single day, you find out that the day that you're not reading, you will not feel comfortable because you know that for that day you have not read. So there's always this thing pushing you towards reading if you are consistent. So the idea is consistency. It's not how long you really spend in reading, it's a consistency. So you have to be consistent. Then you will have that admission that you are looking for. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you will fail that exams. Listen to what I'm saying. If you have doubts in yourself, if you have doubt that you didn't prepare very well, if you have doubt that you won't pass the exams, if you have doubt that you are not worth writing the exams, then it is useless because you will fail. Okay? Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, the system is going to push you down to make you have less confidence in yourself. So try and have confidence in yourself. When preparing for the exams, tell yourself that you are brilliant, that you can remember everything you're reading. For people that pray, you pray to God. Tell God to allow you, to give you the ability to remember what you are reading, okay? Then after talking to God, you should assume that God have answered your prayer, that you can remember everything that you are reading, okay? Then you continue reading. Then you will remember everything that you've read. The most important thing is your self-confidence. So try and have confidence in yourself, even though you're reading what you don't understand because most of the time when you start reading, you may not understand what you're reading. when you start reading, like you've not read for like 2 months straight and you just bought the Jamb form and you have to start reading, or you've not read for like a year or two and you just bought the Jamb form and you need to start reading, you will feel discouraged. You feel like you've not read for your life. Okay, so you have to encourage yourself. Tell yourself that you are able, you are capable, right? Thank you for watching till this time, and I hope that you will pass that Jamb. I'm not a prayer kind of a person. I feel like praying right now, kabashing for somebody, but you can do that on your own, right? Now, the question I'm going to ask you, okay, after subscribing is, which one do you prefer? Self-reading or lesson center? Which one do you prefer? Self-reading or lesson center? Write your comment on the comment section below, and I'll be very happy to see your comment, and I'll see you in the next video.